All right, what's up, everybody? It is me, Insanity, here live at the Concourse, part of the International here in Knoxville, Tennessee, and I have the pleasure of interviewing a special guy. He is in the band Black Crown Initiate. They're from Pennsylvania. How's it going today, man?
Very good. I appreciate you calling me special. That's a pretty accurate assessment.
Not the retarded kind of special.
Well, I mean,
the special, like, talented
it could be argued special.
Well, it depends on what your bandmates say about you, I guess.
Handy capable.
Oh, gotcha. Handy capable. There you go, then. You play a pretty mean guitar, so.
Thank you, man.
And your name's Andy, but I don't think I
Yes.
said that, so
Yes.
that's been a long day.
I understand.
And it's a holiday season, man. Fucking crazy with Black Friday and shit. What do you think, man? That's crazy.
I worked in retail for a long time.
Oh my God, you poor thing.
So I worked at Circuit City before it closed, and I was just telling somebody the other day, I remember before they had fire code on Black Friday.
Oh, yeah.
And it was just like, okay, let everybody in.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And it was
people get
fucked.
trampled to death
Yeah.
and shit, man. It's like, what
Yep.
the fuck, dude?
Yep.
It's like all this over fucking electronics. Like, who cares, dude? I'm not gonna sell my soul for electronics. Well, maybe that's nice stuff for electronics.
Here we are doing an electronic interview, right?
Yeah, that's right. Hey, wonders of technology, right? The 21st century.
Good and bad.
Good and bad. That's right. Makes people lazy.
It really does.
But so your band, congratulations on the success. You had the latest release came out September, October.
Yeah, I want to say September 30th, something like that.
Yeah, and it's Wreckage of Stars,
Wreckage
and then
of Stars.
congratulations on the success of that. And you guys
Thanks a lot.
on E1. So how's your experience been with E1 so far?
E1's great, man. They've taken great care of us. Everything they've said they were going to do, they've done. They've delivered. They've really, really pushed the album well. It sold a lot better than we thought it would. I mean, obviously,
cool.
Your first album, you're like, well, who's gonna really give a shit?
Yeah.
We're not making millions of dollars or anything. That's never the goal anyway. But it sold very well, and E1 did a very good job of getting it out there.
Now,
so we really couldn't be happier.
Your first release, was that independent?
That was independent.
Independent.
Yep.
Okay, and how did you guys do with that? I mean, as far as Pennsylvania or the New England area, so to speak.
Basically, what we did is we went into a studio locally, Atrium Audio, which is where we did the album too.
Okay, gotcha.
But that one I I paid out of my pocket because I just wanted to make one album where it was like exactly what I wanted.
Yeah.
So we did that, and we just put it on the internet, on Bandcamp and on iTunes and stuff, and we really didn't send it to anybody.
Really?
It was just sort of an organic buzz.
Was it something that was created locally where everybody's like, oh man, you got to hear this shit, and then you had other people start reaching out and supporting music, or?
I don't know, because like one day it was like, oh shit, all these people in the industry that I had heard of for years were like saying, hey, we really like what you're doing, keep us posted.
That's
and
awesome,
keep in
dude.
contact, and it was like, are you sure? And
Is this a fucking joke, right?
Yeah, dude. I'm still waiting for somebody to be like, just kidding, asshole. Go back to work.
Dude, you guys are doing awesome. I mean, I heard the album, and the album is very, very impressive, the latest one, The Wreckage of Stars.
Thanks a lot.
And now, how did you guys get teamed up with E1? Did they approach you, or were you guys just searching for labels, or how did that work?
We had a few offers from a few different labels. E1 was, I think for me, the reason I liked E1 the most, this might sound weird, E1 sort of, like some of the labels that reached out to us were very, very specifically extreme metal labels.
Yeah, Metal Blade.
That wasn't one of them.
But that's one of
But
the...
yeah, same,
yeah,
like that type of thing where it's
Gotcha.
like metal, you know? And E1 has heavy bands, but they don't have, to my knowledge, they didn't have like a really extreme band. Not that we're the most extreme or anything like that,
Yeah.
but there are elements of that there. And we figured, well, if they don't really have that, then maybe they will focus on us, as opposed to us just falling in with, everybody else.
Blending in with everybody else, yeah, exactly.
So that's why we did it, and I couldn't say anything bad about E1.
Yeah, and they've got a great roster. They got
They really
Avatar,
do.
they got...
Well, I mean, this whole tour is
Pop
E1.
Evil. Yeah, it is. Yeah, I was actually going to interview. I wanted to interview Crowbar, and I was like, I'm a big fan of you guys. I'm a big fan of Unearth. I've loved Unearth for a long time.
Yeah.
And I was like, let me just hit him up. And he's like, hey, Black Crown's mine too. And I was like, oh yeah, you want to interview him? I was like, well, fuck yeah, dude. I'm not going to pass that up.
Of course, yeah.
What are you talking about? So this particular tour, I mean, what's it like for you guys to be on tour with such epic bands? I mean, Crowbar, I mean, honestly, they started a whole movement.
Oh, yeah.
Everything. But what's it like to hang out with Kirk and all those guys and just hang out and be on, I mean, share the stage with those guys? Was it like a dream come true for you guys? Or?
Well, I mean, it is. It's an honor, of course. And we toured with Unearth before, and even then that was an honor, too. To tour with Crowbar, that dude of Kirk's stature is really, really fucking cool.
Yeah.
Big time.
Oh, yeah, dude.
The thing about this tour is our van broke down.
Oh, God.
As we were driving to the first day of the tour, so tonight is actually our first night on this tour.
Oh, really? Where were you guys supposed to start at?
Man, I don't even remember. Oh, it was supposed to be Pensacola, Florida.
Oh, Pensacola, okay.
So We started driving. We got as far as Maryland
wow.
from Pennsylvania.
Not very far.
Well, yeah. So our van took a shit. So we spent the past 5 days trying to rectify that situation. So we drove from Reading, Pennsylvania, last night to Knoxville tonight, and then tomorrow we play in Reading, Pennsylvania. So
oh my
that's
God!
like an 11-hour
Ironic,
drive,
right?
but you got to do what you got to do, and we're really glad to be here.
Definitely, man. So I mean, you got this tour going on now. What are your guys' plans for next year? I mean, you guys are in heavy support of the album. Are there any bands you're eyeballing as far as wanting to tour with or jump on with? Or
honestly, I mean, I'd love to tour with anybody really, but I mean, obviously my heroes: Meshuggah, Gojira, Opeth, Devin Townsend, anything like that. In January, late January, we're doing a tour with Voivod and Napalm Death.
Oh, hell
and that's
yeah,
going to be really sick.
I heard Napalm Death, and when I saw that, I was like, oh shit, I got to hit them up. I got to interview those guys.
Yeah, that's a long tour. It's at least a month, and it goes all across U.S. and Canada. It's going to be a very, very good tour, I think.
Oh yeah, man. Now for this band, the composition, the makeup of the band members themselves. I mean, were you guys all kind of mix and match from other bands where you guys were veterans, or did you guys just kind of come on the scene and just decide you guys were gonna? I mean, because a lot of bands have to go for 6 or 7 years doing a lot of independent stuff, and I noticed you guys really only recently formed. So I don't know if you guys have a hodgepodge of old local scene members or veterans, or are you guys just basically a new band?
No. First of all of us have played in bands for. I mean, I've played in bands for 12 years, so I mean, just local type stuff.
Yeah.
And our singer James has played in bands for even more than that, maybe 14 years. Rick and I, our other guitarist, played guitar. We were in bands together in 2005.
Oh, okay.
So it was we played together back then in a couple bands, and then we just kind of went our separate ways for a couple years. And when I started this up, it was yeah, let's get Rick, because he and I are very complementary guitarists, and in a way we taught each other how to play a lot of things back in the day. So we're today when we write things, it's I know where he's going to go and he knows where I'm going to go, and that's
awesome.
That's
to
cool.
find that chemistry with somebody, I mean, especially in music, is
we all
a hard
have
thing
it.
to find.
Same with our bass player Nick, because I played with him for 5 or 6 years too. And we all played in different bands together, different bands apart, and we all just knew each other for a long time. And finally, it just was why don't we all just fucking play?
Yeah. And who approached who? Were you the one who kind of was hey, let's just put this together and let's do this, or was it just everybody getting together at once and saying, hey, let's just do this?
Nick, James, and I were playing. Nick, our bass player, our singer James, and I were playing in a technical death metal band, and I got really tired of it because it was just not emotional at all. It was just let's try to play as fast as we can all the time, and that's bullshit.
Blast beats.
Yeah, that's not music. That's technical exercise. So Nick and I left that band. Well, I left and Nick kind of came with me, and I was I'm going to start this band. I know what I want to do. It's going to be called Black Crown Initiate. It's going to be about this, whatever. And let's just record it and do it and see what we can get with that. See if we can get people that want to play with us.
Definitely.
James did vocals. We asked him to, although, at the beginning he was kind of unsure about what he wanted, whether he wanted to be a full-time part or whether he wanted to just do studio stuff. Yeah. Jesse, we wrote the EP with him, and then he left to join Rings of Saturn. And then when things started to pick up for us, we were hey man, come back, because we've been playing with him for years. So he came back, and then Rick joined, and it's all just kind of come full circle. My musical evolution kind of really, in a way, started with Rick.
Oh, okay.
And then we went our separate ways for about 5 or 6 years. Didn't really even talk. And then it was here we are.
Yeah, again. Funny how stuff kind of happens like that. So Black Crown Initiate, where did you come up with that name? Was it just kind of something that's one day you woke up from a dream oh fuck, I gotta write this down, or was it something that's well thought out?
I don't remember where I specifically came up with it. I mean, the origin of it I know. The origin of it is there's a high-ranking lama or spiritual leader in Tibet that wears a black crown. I believe he's called the Panchen Lama, and he represents the black crown is a symbol of light bearing or aid to humanity.
Wow.
But for me, in the modern world, I'm not really an advocate of anything that's going on in this country.
Yeah, it's
particularly.
fucked up,
yeah. I mean, you can shoot a kid. A cop can shoot a kid and get off. In this country. So it's that's just an example. The point is, the society we live in, particularly, and the world at large, is a pretty fucked place.
Yeah, it is.
So
definitely.
to show people, I mean, whatever you believe, but to show people any type of light, I think it's like you really just have to show them how, if you can, show them how fucked up they are and how fucked up you are.
Yeah, we're all
And
fucked up in our own special way.
Exactly. Oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And the most fucked up people are the ones that tell you they aren't fucked up.
Yeah,
you
they're
know?
full of shit.
So that's kind of where the name comes from.
That's very cool, man. So let me ask you about something. Let me change the subject here. What did you think when you heard about Wayne Static? When you heard about his passing, did you know him at all, or was it?
I did. I didn't know him. That sounds convoluted or whatever. I met him. We played with him in Austin, Texas, at a Texas Independence Fest on our first tour with Behemoth. His tour and the Behemoth tour kind of met up in Austin for like an all-day festival, and we actually played right after him, which was wild because it was one of our first shows ever, and we were playing
like,
after
holy shit,
Wayne
this
Static.
Wayne Static, holy fuck.
And Rick particularly is a huge Static X fan.
Oh, I love Static X.
Yeah. So, but we met him, and he was a really fucking nice dude, and like, he went out of his way to like drink beer with us and hang out and just figure out who the fuck we were.
Yeah.
Because he didn't know. He didn't have to do that. And he talked to us for like an hour and a half, just standing out in the parking lot drinking beers with us. And I was like, wow, man. He was a nice dude. So when I found out he died, particularly the way he did.
Yeah. And I was one of the things that pissed me off because, like, I get all the press releases. I was really upset that people were saying drug and stuff like that. And I was like, dude, we have no facts. Why people? And Jacoby Shaddix, I thought that was very responsible.
Did it end up being not drugs?
It did.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
They did a press release saying it had nothing to do with drugs. And they came out with that. I think Loudwire actually came out with that person.
What was it?
It just died of natural causes of sleep.
Well, that's a shame too.
Yeah, that is definitely a shame. So, but I mean, it's sad in this industry how people can just jump to that conclusion just because somebody plays a certain type of music or they get labeled as something else. But
so look, even me, I didn't know,
Yeah,
but you can't. That's the thing is like you might hear, read on the internet, Wayne Static's a dickhead. Maybe I never did, but I'm saying you read that shit about people all the time.
People have something to say.
But it's really just a matter of like, you can sit in your bedroom and think whatever you want and say whatever you want, and you have no accountability behind a keyboard.
Yeah, exactly. Fake tough guy.
Of course, you could say, yeah, right.
It's what it is, really.
And so like, but the other part of it is like this lifestyle, and I haven't been at it too long, but long enough now to know that it's fucking tough.
It is, yeah.
So anybody that really bags on it or bags on anybody's behavior as a result of it that hasn't been through it really has nothing to say.
Even like I was shocked in the media how like I'm going to do a documentary one day about bands. People see you on tour and they're like, oh my God, they're touring Crowbar, and then they're like, oh, I don't want to buy a $20 T-shirt. These guys don't need the money, but they really, you guys do, because a lot of people don't understand. And most of these major labels don't really pay for your transportation. Don't pay for. I mean, they just. I mean, it's like if you're signed to E1, what else they need to give you? I mean, you're on E1, right? I mean,
they need to give you distribution, really,
and these T-shirts and tips.
And they'll
and
offer you tour support if you need it sometimes, but it's all recoupable, so you're paying everything back. But the thing about that gets me is that you make an album and you go into debt to make an album that people just flat out steal.
Yeah, exactly.
And like when we when our van when we realized our van was not going to make it, we started an Indiegogo campaign.
Yeah.
Offering people goods for money should they choose to donate it, and everybody had something to say about it. And it's like, how many of you stole the work we did? Not that I care, because it's good at the end of the day that people hear your album.
Yeah.
Downloading is here to stay. There's nothing you can do about it. But how many of you, like if you walked into a CD store and stole that album, you'd be a thief, right?
Yeah.
But not if you do it behind a computer. Again, no accountability behind a keyboard. So you can say, well, go get real jobs. Well, I have a real job. It's to play music. But the music I go into debt to make doesn't get paid for because it's stolen.
Yeah.
It's
a shame, and that's why, I try to, well, right now I'm in a good spot where I get everything from publicists anyway, so I don't have to do that. But
I get the free music as a promotional tool.
Yeah, but just to take it because I don't want to pay $20. That band's already got enough money. Well, no, they don't. They need your support.
I got fired to tour, so I haven't had a job since I started touring.
Well, I think you guys are going to have a lot of success. And one more thing I want to touch on. Sure. You guys toured with Rivers of Nile. Back this year or last year?
Oh, that was.
I can't remember. I remember
That would have been
reading
like October, I think.
October.
No, maybe September,
I
October.
just want to hit on that because those guys,
Yeah.
Metal Blade Records,
Yeah,
and they're
cool
they're
dudes.
really cool dudes. Yeah,
Same
I got to
hometown.
interview. Oh yeah, that's right. And I got to interview the drummer. He was really kind of
Was it Alan?
Alan. Yeah, he was
Yeah.
really quiet. He was just
Alan's
he
a
was
very
really
quiet
shy.
guy.
And
Yeah.
it's funny because
Good dude, though.
oh, he's a really good dude. And I got to talk to. It's funny because Brody was there,
Mm-hmm.
and the whole time I didn't realize Brody was in the band. I was like, oh my god! And he's like,
You know what's funny? He fucking told me about that. He
Oh, he did?
He was like, we did an interview the other day, and he didn't say anything bad, but it was like we did an interview the other day, and the guy thought I was like a crew member.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
He didn't say anything. I was like,
He was getting a rise out of it. That's what he does. You got to watch Brody.
oh man, I was like, I can't believe I got mentioned on a story from Brody. How fucking cool is that, dude?
Yeah.
But those guys were super cool,
No,
and
they're-
the
yeah,
whole
they
thing
are.
I got to talk to Revocation, all those guys.
Oh man,
Those dudes, man, Dave Davidson,
guitar players,
dude, telling
Holy
you, man.
fuck.
So I noticed the beard. I just want to comment on that.
Sure.
Do you ever did you Zach Wild have anything to do with that gnarly beard you got, or who really
The
inspired
initial
you?
inspiration was when I was a little kid and I saw ZZ Top on TV.
Oh, there
and
you
I
go.
was like, man.
What do your
that's
parents think about
fucking
that?
cool. They didn't like it for a long time, but I've had it for so long now that they're just like, yeah, that's.
Are your parents the kind of person that people like? Because my mom, she hears me listen to metal music and
Yeah.
she says, "Oh, they worship the fucking devil." And also, is your parents the same kind of like you played in music and you're
Yeah.
just polluting young minds? Is that what they're?
My dad raised me on like Black Sabbath and things.
Oh hell yeah, you were raised right then, my friend.
It's like when I got into heavier shit, I would be like, "Yo, Dad, check this shit out." And he'd be
dude,
like,
I wish I
"Oh
could do
man,
that."
that's awesome." And then we go to metal shows together. Now he's getting older and he likes to just chill at home now.
Yeah,
But I mean, he'll come out to see us tomorrow.
that's cool, man.
But my dad's he gave me when I was like I was real young, man. He gave me a tape. I don't remember how old I was, but one side was Jimi Hendrix "Are You Experience," and the other side was Santana "Caravanserai."
Oh, dude.
Yeah, and it was like,
Oh my God, is that when you knew you wanted to play guitar? Yeah.
Yeah, and then he was actually the genesis for that too, because like one day I was just sitting at home. He's like, "Do you want a guitar?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." And I was like, "But I'm left-handed because I am, and I play right-handed because of him again." I was like, "I'm left-handed. Can I get a left-handed guitar?" He's like, "Nope, they're more expensive. So you're getting a right-handed guitar. You don't know how to play either way, and you're gonna fucking figure it out."
How hard was that?
No harder.
Really?
It's just it's training your brain to do something, and I'm glad I did today.
Yeah. Awesome, man. Well, I know we're running. See, I never know with these interviews. Sometimes I just get talking. You're just a really cool dude. You're a really
Thanks,
chill
man.
dude.
You too.
Really chill dude, and I'm glad I got to meet you and
Yeah.
do the interview. And so go ahead and give us your links, your social links, your website. Where can they find you at?
Yeah, Facebook, Black Crown Initiate. We have a Twitter. We also have an Instagram. It's all Black Crown Initiate. Actually, Twitter is BC Initiate. What else? We have Bandcamp. Again, Black Crown Initiate. We're on iTunes. That's all I can think of right now.
And go buy this shit. Don't steal it because these guys are not millionaires like you might think. They working for some of them have families. They got to pay bills like
Well,
you guys.
If you need to hear it, take it. Whatever. But if you can pay for it, fucking pay
If
for
you
it.
like it, then buy it. How about that? There you
Yep.
go.
There we go.
So, all right, man. Well, go check out their links. Go give them a like. Go give them a follow. All that fun social networking bullshit. So thank you very much, Andy, for your time, man. And this has been Insanity here with Andy, the guitarist and the clean vocalist for Black Crown Initiate. Awesome band. Go check them out. And until next time, rockers, we'll be here on Echo Asylum.
Thanks.